Most transactions in Unleash produce documentation. You can customize the documentation template to provide awesome documentation. Let's run through some tips and tricks on how to customize the documentation templates to suit your business requirements. The document designer can be found underneath Settings, Document Designer, and then you'd select the document design that you wish to work on. Unleash does come with some default templates. Use that as your starting point and duplicate it. By clicking on Duplicate, you can then choose your documentation template name. Now do also note that you can choose the document type you wish to duplicate to. So if you've spent all your time and energy into creating a fantastic invoice template, use that to create a baseline for your sales orders and sales quotes, saving you loads and loads of time. Now that you've got your new template, click on the Template tab. You can customize the font details, but also within here, you can change the page size. So for your American customers, you can give them a letter page size. You can also, for those larger documents, change the page orientation to be landscape, for example. And that'll help with those large grids that we'll see in just a few moments. Now heading across to the Toolbox. The Toolbox is where we can add the components that we need in our document design. Do note you can add multiple images to your document design template. Also within here, we have our header and our footer, and that'll be consistent across all pages that are produced for this particular document. Simply drag and drop the components as needed into your document. Now, as I drag the header into my document design, I see the rest of my components are a little bit squishy. Now, you don't want to be dragging and dropping each component individually. So here's a quick tip. Click down and select all of the components that you wish to move. Here you can see it's all highlighted, and those are the components that I'm going to move all in one go. Using my keyboard, I'm using my arrows to go up and down and left to right and move them as I need. While you have multiple components selected, you can also select the Template tab and use the alignment to auto-align them left, right, or at the top. Often an invoice, purchase order, or ship note is going to have multiple pages, and you want to keep track of each page. Select the page number and drag and drop it into your document design where you need it. From here, select the Component tab and choose your formatting. For me, I want page number 1 of 3, for example, and that's going to help me keep track. One of the most important components of your document design is going to be your grid. So let's run through a few tips and tricks here. So as I've got my grid, I select the Component tab. Keep in mind you've got your column control. These are all of the columns that are going to display in the grid. Select the headers that you need to display on your grid. If it's not visible, you'll see the checkbox will be empty. However, for example, I want my barcode to be visible, I'm going to select Visible. Do note that this barcode field now can support the physical printing of the barcode. Having this on a pick slip can really help in your shipping processes. You can also move the column headings up and down, and this is the order which they're going to display in the grid. Going through the headings, another thing to note is your decimal places. Looking at my discount rate, this is currently 4 decimal places, and I want it to be a nice round number and easy on the eye in my document. So I'm going to select my decimal places and pop that to 0. I think my documentation looks pretty good now, and I'm going to look at the preview to make sure it looks suitable and fit for purpose. I'm pretty happy with my document template, so I'm going to click Publish, and everyone will be using the same look and feel. Now I've done all this hard work, maybe in my sandbox or maybe in my second Unleashed account, and I want to be able to replicate that in my production environment. So we do have the ability to save you loads and loads of time in recreating that, so you can export it out. It'll create a file for you. It's recommended you don't modify this file. You simply drag and drop it into the account you would like the documentation to be created into. Hopefully this has helped in creating those awesome documents fit for your business requirements.